Welcome to the Complete Story Series. We take trade paperbacks and single issues and we break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. Then we read it dramatically back to you. All alterations to the panels, text, and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective company. It's been a while, guys, but it's time to get back to the Batman story arcs and what happened right after the death of the family. Well, Batman Eternal did, but right after that, we had Batman Endgame. So make sure that you check out Batman Death of the Family, which will bring you to this storyline. And let's not waste any more time. Batman is joking with Alfred Pennyworth in Penny 2 when suddenly, Wonder Woman comes crashing through the window, slamming Bruce into the wall. With him disoriented, she grabs him by the shirt and she takes for the skies, telling him to not even talk. She won't be listening. He reaches into his pockets and he pulls out something to mess with her head, forcing her to drop him, and he falls into the park down below. As she lands next to him, he looks up. "What the hell is going on?" And she looks down at him coldly. "It's simple, Bruce. The League is here to do something we've wanted to do for a long time. Kill you." A panicked look hits Bruce's face as he calls back to the Batcave and scurries away. "Alfred, release Plan Fenrir! Release the suit!" We don't see him get into the suit, nor does it matter, because Batman is suited up to battle against the Justice League. "Welcome to Gotham," he shouts at Diana as he puts her into a wall. But folks, this is Wonder Woman, and she leaps onto the suit, tearing off an arm and stabbing Batman through the suit. As Batman bleeds out on the street, he asks, "Why?" And Wonder Woman just stands triumphantly over him. This is a lie, because Batman has a plan for everyone in this suit, and he knew that Wonder Woman would only stop attacking him if she felt she won. So he managed to get a magical artifact onto her shoulders that shows her what she wants to see. The bind of veils. As she stands there thinking that she's won, Batman calls back to the cave. "Are you picking up the others, Alfred?" Alfred responds with no, but there's a reason why Alfred can't pick anyone up, because it's the Flash, and he's moving faster than anyone can read. Batman shouts, "Run, Red!" And the suit moves into hyperdrive, processing data faster than any human reaction, fast enough to map the Flash's movements if he isn't moving at his optimal speed. It then fires a frictionless coating onto the street right in front of the Flash before he can react, sending him into a nearby building. This isn't even close to done though, as Aquaman appears behind Batman. Batman begins to realize that this is insane. Who has the power to turn the entire Justice League against him? At least Aquaman isn't a problem, as the suit launches a hardening foam that sucks moisture out of its target, and it seals itself around Aquaman. Alfred calls into Batman, telling him that he needs to get out of there. There are still 3 more members of the League. Batman stands there though. This is the safest place in the city. If it's Vic, I have the electromagnetic tree. If it's Hal, I have the Citrone neutralizer. But please, let him still be off-world. But Batman isn't that lucky, as Superman comes barreling in, slamming the suit into a nearby building. "Sorry about your little Justice Buster suit, Bruce," Superman says as he hovers over him. "Who did this to you?" "Who? Well, it's a funny story, really." "No, not him! Not the Joker!" "Oh yes, and no one's going to save you this time." As he drops half a building on Batman. But Batman gets up and he takes a swing across Superman's jaw with the power of microscopic red suns collected from dead solar systems. Superman just laughs, and he throws Batman into the street. Who wins a fight, Bruce? Batman or Superman? And he launches in with his heat vision, only to have Batman deflected off the suit with plasma shields. So Superman fires his heat vision into the building behind Batman, bringing it down on him. He then grabs the suit and he takes off for the sky, saying, "Up, up and away!" In the sky, Superman begins to tear the pieces of the suit off of Bruce. "Where are you, Bruce?" Eventually, there is no Justice Buster suit, and only Batman remains. So Superman holds his face close to Batman's. He says, "Beg." So Batman spits a radioactive Kryptonian dust into Superman's eyes, kryptonite gum as Alfred calls it, and Superman is knocked out. Both men fall into Gotham Harbor, and Batman answers the question, who would win? Batman or Superman? Neither of us. With the whole ordeal officially behind him, Batman gets back to the Batcave and he places an antidote for the standard Joker venom into the bloodstream of each Justice League member. This whole plan is the Joker's doing, and because of it, the Justice League is currently removed from the fight for the next week. Batman then tries to figure out exactly what the Joker was trying to say by sending his old friends against him. The Joker always saw himself as a friend to Batman, challenging him and improving him. But this is turning his friends into enemies, and the Joker might be done playing games. Batman's first stop is the collapsed Arkham Asylum. It fell during the horrific week that was Batman Eternal, and he walks around the wreckage looking to glean any clues that he can find. Oddly, there is one man in the building with Batman, Eric Border, one of the newest members of the Arkham Asylum staff. He asks Batman if he needs any help, if he's okay. And Batman just shrugs it off. "I'm fine, Mr. Border. You should be at Arkham Manor with the rest of the staff taking care of the inmates." Eric just follows behind Batman. "I wanted to help the inmates of Arkham. I wanted to help the city. I wanted to help you most of all. But then I saw that there wasn't any helping you. Because you don't see a helping hand. Even if it's right in front of your face." And he shuts Batman into one of the cells as he was investigating it. Batman turns around as the door shuts. "What did you say? Eric, did he get to you?" And Eric begins to wipe away the makeup. He ruffles up his hair. "You really don't recognize me, do you, Batman? I was hoping you wouldn't." And then he drops a gas bomb into the cell with Batman. "So, Bats, you miss me?" And in front of Batman, right in front of his face behind the gate, is the Joker. Batman can't move because the gas is a paralytic, so Joker continues as he pulls out his face, the one that he used to use as a mask in their last little adventure. "The last time, it was supposed to have a happy ending. It was a comedy, but you ruined it by dropping me off of that cliff. So this time, no more games, no more jokes. I'm just here to close up shop. You have become boring." He pulls out a gun and he pulls the trigger, revealing the old school bang gun. He then leaves Batman there, paralyzed, forced to watch as Joker walks away. It gets even worse though, because while the Joker and Batman have been in there, Joker released a toxin into the city of Gotham, and the whole city is now becoming Jokerized by an airborne version of his Joker toxin. This one drives the person insane and eventually kills them. And as the paralyzing agent wears off, Batman makes his way back to the Batcave where Alfred is already trying to create an antidote. But there's something new in this serum. Something that is fighting against all of Batman's antitoxins. So Batman decides to go where the first case spawned, and he tracks down Patient Zero to the local Gotham hospital. En route to the location, he calls up Jim Gordon to let him know that he's already working on it, and Jim just needs to hide out until this whole thing passes. All of Gotham is a threat right now. Jim explains that he's been watching this from his window, and it turns friends into enemies, and it seeks out a person's affections so that it can ruin them for that person. Jim should be a little more concerned about himself though, and not the city. Because as Batman is making his way through the hospital, Joker comes a-knocking. Or more accurately, Joker has been in Gordon's house all along. He comes crawling out from underneath his bed, laughing in a way that only the Joker could. He then lights Jim's house on fire and he stands over his victory triumphantly. He then begins to swing an axe around Jim's house, threatening him even further. Jim holds up his gun, and he sees the Joker right in front of him. This is it. He can end it all. It's a self-defense thing after all. So he takes the shot, right in the heart, a single bullet. As Batman is leaving the hospital from his own horrible ordeal in which the Joker tried to recreate the death of his parents for him to relive, he gets a phone call from Jim. "I did it. He came at me. I had no choice. I did it. He's gone, Batman. Just flesh and blood, and now he's dead. Not magic, not reborn." If only this was truly a win for Batman and Gordon, because as Jim is telling Batman, Joker is standing up right behind him with a big old grin on his face. He grabs the phone from Jim with Batman on the other line, and he says two words that send a chill down Batman's spine. "Hello, Bruce." Batman gets to Jim's house as quickly as he can, only to find Jim slumped over with an axe in his chest. And Batman hits him with a tranquilizer to prevent the Joker toxin from taking a hold of him. He then bandages Jim up and decides that he's going to the source of all of this. The Joker would have needed help to make something this twisted. So while Batman runs across the city, he sends a blood sample to Dick Grayson to analyze, a copy of the Joker's blood from the gunshot. Batman is fighting against the Jokerized versions of his glorious city, and Grayson tells him that there's something weird in this blood, a regenerative strain. And it's the exact same strain in the virus, but in the virus, it's a decaying version. So Batman figures it out, that the Joker has been taking something to allow him to heal from anything, and there is only one doctor in Gotham who could have possibly done that. A doctor in Arkham. But while Batman is running around Gotham trying to get to Arkham, the Joker is silently swimming in some of the deepest waters in Gotham, without an air tank, without scuba gear, and nothing more than a big old grin on his face. Batman breaks into the lab of the doctor and he demands to know what he did to the virus. How did Joker heal from the fall off the cliff and from cutting his own face off? The doctor informs Batman that he didn't create anything. The element in the Joker and in the virus is older than anything else, and it's something that the Joker showed to the doctor. He explains to Batman that there are age-old legends of individuals who stumble across a substance in the soil or the water and they are transformed. Well, these aren't legends. They were clues to something real, and he calls it Dionysium. It's very real, and the carriers walk among us today. There's a savage out there who encountered it in its oldest form, and he's still among us. And there's a man who calls himself a demon that keeps pools of this liquid around the world. It's a corrupted version, but it's still very effective. Then there's him, the pale man who laughs at us, and has been there ever since Gotham rose. Batman throws the doctor out of the window, but he holds on to him. You created this Dionysium, and you gave it to him. Then you made an inversion of it for the virus. Where are you keeping it so I can cure this? But the doctor continues. You're wrong. I got it from him. It's in his spine. I could never make anything this potent. While Batman leaves the doctor hanging from the window, Penny 2 calls him up. This is bad, Batman. We have hours until everyone in the city dies, and to make matters even creepier, I did a facial recog on the Joker throughout history just to debunk this charade. But Batman, he's all over throughout history. This can't be real, Batman says, gritting his teeth. It can't end this way. So Batman goes off the grid for a few hours to ask the Court of the Owls if they've ever heard of the Joker, but all he gets down there is a fight. When he comes back out, he gets a call he never expected. Penny 2 telling him that the Joker broke into the Batcave. Alfred tried to confront him, but the Joker just chopped off his hand with a cleaver. Penny 1 and Penny 2 retreated to the armory where they are now, and she's bandaged up Alfred, but the Joker took all of Batman's trophies out of the Batcave, and he's currently parading them down the streets of Gotham in his own twisted celebration, taunting Batman to come and get the Dionysium out of his spine, daring him. But Batman has finally got a plan working out, and he's finally getting this back in his court. Because down there is a wonderful distraction for the Joker as Batgirl, Red Robin, Red Hood, and Bluebird are all fighting against the Jokerized civilians alongside some of Batman's worst villains. Croc, Scarecrow, Bane, Clayface, Mr. Freeze, Poison Ivy, and Penguin are all helping battle against the Joker's toxins and his plans. They want to own Gotham. They don't want to see it crumble. The battle is intense and the Joker stands on top of his float laughing at Batman as he tries to make his way through the crowds of people. As Batman runs over, he shouts for Bane's attention, and Bane throws him over the crowd right into the Joker's float, where the Joker takes a chainsaw trying to cut off the pieces that Batman is hanging onto. But Batman just gets up and onto the float before the Joker can do anything, and then he gets him into a chokehold. A needle pops out of his glove as he prepares to extract the fluid from the Joker's spine. But the Joker's prepared, as he sets off a high-pitched sound so bad that it drops everyone to their knees except for him. Then grabbing Batman's face, he breaks his gas mask and he tells him, "It's hopeless. I tainted the Dionysium in my spine. But you want to know the kicker of all of this? There's still some Dionysium right here in Gotham. If only you knew your city better. Now let me look into your eyes as I finally win." And he removes Batman's mask, revealing Dick Grayson. "You're not Bruce! You're... And Grayson stops him. "I think the word you're looking for is Dick." Meanwhile, Batman is descending into the cave that Joker was just bragging about. He walks forward and he finds a big green glowing pool of Dionysium. "Penny 2, I found it. Joker must have found this pool after I dropped him off of the cliff. It must have healed his face, his broken bones, and everything about him." "Isn't there a chance that he's just been around forever though?" Penny 2 asks. And then she confirms the sample that Batman sends up to her. It's the stuff that can cure the Joker toxin. Suddenly, explosions go off throughout the entire cave, and Batman calls up, "Penny 2, listen to me. No matter what happens, you need to." And before he can stop, the Joker stabs him in the back. Penny 2 calls back down, "I'm pulling you up, Bruce." But Batman unclips his belt. "I'm staying here, Penny 2. He'll just follow me up. Now get that cure out of here." "That's the spirit," Joker tells him as he digs 2 knives into Batman's back. "I know what you're thinking, Brucey. Was I always this fast? Did I train? Did the Dynesium make me faster? Or was I hiding my true skill from you?" And in response to that, Batman tackles the Joker and the 2 men begin to roll down a cliffside. At the bottom, they hit each other so hard that they draw blood in single swings. There's no holding back now. It's just Batman and the Joker at the bottom of one of the deepest pits in Gotham. The Joker cracks a joke about how this is going to leave a mark. If only he didn't heal. But Batman smirks. "Oh, it'll leave a mark. I laced the Batarang with an immune response blocker. If you have been taking the Dynesium that's here in this pool in its weaker form, then it'll prevent it from healing. But if you are who you say you are, and the Dynesium in your spine is pure, then it'll heal. So all that's left for you to do is show me your cards, Joker." And the Joker turns back to Batman, throwing razor-sharp playing cards at him, lodging one right into his eye socket. But Batman ignores the pain as he leaps onto the Joker, biting off his ear and taking a few more clean shots at his head. Then both men collapse to the ground in pools of blood. The Joker pulls himself up onto Batman, and with a knife ready to plunge into his face. "I'm the one who laughs, get it? I've always been there laughing at you, at all of you, at the great joke that you think your lives have meaning, that any of it matters. But then you showed up, and you gave my meaningless a meaning. That's the funny part. I could have made you forever, just like you always wanted. My blood could have saved you. We could have had a happy ending. It could have been hilarious." But Batman tells the Joker, "It's not over." And he maneuvers the Joker in the way of a falling rock, breaking the Joker's back. Both men lay there, unable to move, until the Joker begins to drag his broken body to the Dynesium pool. "What did you do to my back? I need the Dynesium!" "Wait, Joker," Batman tells him as he climbs onto his back and he holds him still. "I need to tell you something. I need to tell you that I finally believe you. I see it, right here, right now. You are the Pale Man. I'll be dead in minutes from these injuries. So won't you stay with me? Just for a bit? Stay with me and forgive me. Forgive me for being so blind." But the Joker looks around panicked. "Just please, let me go! This whole place is coming down!" "Just forgive me, Joker." "Fine, I forgive you! I forgive you!" But it's too late as a giant boulder falls into the Dynesium pool, sealing it up. As Penny 2 insists on lowering the last of the Dynesium back to Bruce so that he can recover, he tells her to just take it to the surface. If he even tried to open it, it could compromise the structure and all of Gotham could fall. He's just going to rest here for a while. He'll be fine. 2 weeks pass and no one has seen Batman. The city of Gotham hosts a vigil of bat signals every night, calling to their hero. But no Dark Knight comes. Now, I do want to clarify something because a lot of you guys are going to ask about this, but as far as Scott Snyder is saying, yes, this is how he would have killed Batman. And until DC makes him bring him back, this is, in theory, the death of Batman. Now, we all know he'll be back, and even Scott Snyder said that it will happen eventually, but I personally really enjoyed this story. Don't fret though, we will be doing more Batman stories. We have Batman Eternal and various other old Batman trees to go through. So Batman is not leaving the channel in any form, so don't worry. If you want to chat about this video or any other, make sure you follow us on Twitter at Comicstorian. We also have a subreddit, r/Comicstorian. And we also are part of a website of comic book YouTubers known as theweeklypull.net. Please join our community. I'm Benny the Comicstorian, and I will see you guys next time, right here. As he drops a